Chapter 2. By what means the Emperor Constantine became a Christian. When Diocletian and Maximian, surnamed Herculeus, had by mutual consent laid aside the imperial dignity and retired into private life, Maximian, surnamed Galerius, who had been a sharer with them in the government, came into Italy and appointed two Caesars, Maximian in the eastern division of the empire and Servius in the Italian. In Britain, however, Constantine was proclaimed emperor instead of his father Constantius, who died in the first year of the 271st Olympiad on the 25th of July. And at Rome, Maxentius, the son of Maximian, Herculeus, was raised by the Praetorian soldiers to be a tyrant rather than an emperor. In this state of things, Herculeus, impelled by desire to regain the sovereignty, attempted to destroy his son Maxentius, but this he was prevented by the soldiery from effecting, and he soon afterward died at Tarsus in Cilicia. At the same time, Severus Caesar, being sent to Rome by Galerius Maximian in order to seize Maxentius, was slain by his own soldiers, having betrayed him. At length, Galerius Maximian, who had exercised the chief authority, also died, having previously appointed as his successor his old friend and companion in arms, Licinius, Dacian by birth. Meanwhile, Maxentius sorely oppressed the Roman people, treating them as a tyrant rather than as a king, shamelessly violating the wives of the nobles, putting many innocent persons to death, and perpetrating other similar atrocities. The Emperor Constantine, being informed of this, exerted himself to free the Romans from the slavery under him, that is Maximius, and began immediately to consider by what means he might overthrow the tyrant. Now, while his hand was occupied with great subjects, he had debated as to what divinity's aid he should invoke in the conduct of the war. He began to realize that Diocletian's party had not profited at all by the pagan deities whom they had sought to propitiate, but that his own father Constantius, who had renounced the various religions of the Greeks, had passed through life far more prosperously. In this state of uncertainty, as he was marching at the head of his troops, a portentous vision which transcended all description appeared to him. In fact, about that part of the day when the sun, after opposing the meridian, begins to decline towards the west, he saw a particular of light in the heavens in the form of a cross, on which were inscribed these words. This conqueror, the appearance of this sign struck Emperor with amazement and sincerely believed his own eyes. He asked those around him if they beheld the same spectacle, and as they unanimously declared that they did, the emperor's mind strengthened by this divine and marvelous apparition. On the following night, in his slumber, he saw Christ, who directed him to prepare a standard according to the pattern of that which he had been seen, and to use it against his enemies as an assured trophy of victory. In obedience to this divine oracle, he caused a standard in the form of a cross to be prepared, which is preserved in the palace even to this present time. And proceeding in his measures with greater earnestness, he attacked the enemy and vanquished him before the gates of Rome, near the Mulvarian Bridge, Maxentius himself being drowned in the river. This victory was achieved in the 7th year of the conqueror's reign. After this, while Licinius, who shared the government with him and was his brother-in-law, having married his sister Constantia, was residing in the east, the Emperor Constantine, in view of the great blessing he had received, offered grateful thanksgivings to God as his benefactor. These consisted in his relieving the Christians from their persecution, recalling those who were in exile, liberating such as were in prison, and causing the confiscated property of the proscribed to be restored to them. He moreover rebuilt the churches and performed all these things with the greatest ardor about his time. Diocletian, who had abdicated the imperial authority, died in Salona in Dalmatia.